Yeah. And lately I just been thinking about where I'm going and shit. And the truth is, I don't really know where I'm going. But what I do know is, I just gotta keep making music, man. Yeah. Check, I need to get my mind right. Enough fucking around, I'm unappreciated, so I got no love for this town. I gotta get out without changing my mindset. Judge when I rap like I'm taking a rhyme test. Young bull with dreams big enough to reach clouds. I miss shots, but I'm coming for the rebound. Keep my head up so much I can't see down. And I ain't finna trade my soul just to be found. Yeah, I seek truth as the beat loops.
My condolences for those who think the scene's
Boy,
it's just that your voice
I'm in heaven.
But when I finally make it, it'll end my
So I was driving down here and my dad called me, okay? And he's like, "Hey Zach." And I'm like, "Yeah, Dad." He's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm driving." And he's like, "Oh, where are you driving to?" And I'm like, Keystone College, okay? And he's like, "Hey, Zach, you know there's that world event happening at Marody Saranowski Park?" And I told him, "Yeah, I do, Dad, okay?" And he was telling me about how he would go there and just kind of go out there and observe, right? Kind of have a fun time, because what's going on right now today, October, I don't even know, it's a Saturday. Right now, there's a world event happening at Marody Saranowski Park, and it's a park above Carbondale, Pennsylvania, and it's happening within the Scranton area, and that's pretty big. Now, yesterday I was walking with my mom at Nayard Park, and we just came onto this event, okay? We thought it was pre-registration for the Scranton Marathon, and the Scranton Marathon and man, people come all over the country for this, and people from the Scranton Marathon, that's going to be happening this Monday, okay? So if this video is uploaded for the Scranton Marathon, feel free to go for it, man. All right, if you want any last minute options. I know for me, I would like to be trained up for it. But hey, so with that being said, I was telling my dad, yeah, Marody Saranowski, so yeah, this world event, okay? And he was like, yeah, I think would be probably interesting. And, I just told him, yeah, I don't think nice idea, but hey, I think I'm going to come here, and I think I'm going to have my own event myself, okay? With my lovely bag, tables, and cooler, man, all right? And please tell me I did not forget my journal. If I forgot my damn journal, man, I am going to be pissed. I forgot my damn journal. I forgot my damn journal. You know what? I'm going to try something out right now, okay? I got my marker. I'm going to see if this can work. Oh, man. All the things I had to forget was the journal, and I don't want to go up and back, man. Walked all this way. Actually, it looks like it works. Today, I'm here. In fact, so that is what I am going to do. Knowing that I don't want to go and do that, what I'm going to do is write on these rocks. Because one of my plans is to, in fact, so I buried some, first episode of the Watch Out series, I buried a chest here on land, okay? And you know what? I thought, what would be really cool? Is if I buried a chest somewhere within the water. somewhere along the stream, I'm not sure yet. And instead of paper, I can write this stuff on rock now. And I can load it up that way. And I can have like several pages from rocks, so on and so forth. So I want to go back to my original point with, okay, with my dad's like, hey, like, yeah, the world event, you know what I mean? And I told him, yeah, I'm not going to go here because, I'm going to have my own event here, man, and, I can ask myself a question, okay, am I missing out on anything? No, I'm not missing out on anything. And you know why? Because I'm in my heavenly paradise. I'm taking really some time to myself. I'm making this amazing, awesome, lovely video. There's Spider dead. And I'm here enjoying the stream, okay? Keystone College is one of my favorite streams of northeastern Pennsylvania, man. And, I really would say, like, I know for me, like, just being around water, hearing water, and coming out here and just enjoying nature, man. I don't want to say I don't have a stressful life. I don't really have a stressful, like, boom, boom, boom type life. I have a very eventful life. I do a lot of things. But, one of the big things with me, I don't watch TV. You know what I mean? Like, what I do is I watch my YouTube videos, okay? Or I kind of like, I listen to music, that type of stuff, right? But this is literally my time to relax and TV, man, okay? And just to also unwind. And one of the things I found is that, like, I got to do things that are really best for me in my life to help my mental health and really kind of give myself time to recharge and think. And this is one of those spots, you know what I mean? And I absolutely love it, man. I absolutely love it. I could be a little lazy and I could just, man, I can be lazy here, man. Man, I kid you not, like, I'm so thrilled and excited to be here. I effing love this place. I love this place. I'm gonna stop right now, just take a breather, and I'm gonna write some stuff on some rocks, and I wanna take some time to myself and just collect some of my thoughts. Actually, before I take this break, I actually also want to mention this as well. I decided to, so one of the things I absolutely love here, okay, is that when I sit down here, I could connect with nature, enjoy this beautiful fall day, okay, and it's kind of chilly, but it's warm too, man. Those are some of my favorites. That's why I think, for me, when I race mountain bikes, especially in the fall time, it was my favorite season's racing. But, man, with that, I decided I brought some strawberries. And, for me, I know it's very important for me to stay, to eat, but, eat healthy, okay? And, strawberries. I love Krispy Kreme donuts. Like, Krispy Kreme donuts can be the bane of my existence, man. All right? But you know what? I'm filling that void with strawberries. These are way better than donuts, by the way. I'm not, like, that's not up for a debate. It's just fact, alright? And I'm not entirely by myself right now. I decided to bring one of my buddies who's a roadie, not to forget a suddy. What up, bud? How you doing, bud? He's looking beautiful today. You're looking beautiful today, bud. So I'm really excited to right now and have this guy just smile back at me, man. I really love that. I love his energy. I built him a little chair, as you can see. And, man, knowing that I got strawberries, I wanted to share the wealth, okay? Alright. Yeah. Right? It's kind of rude if you don't have food. It's rude not to share, you know what I mean? Right? I would ask him, but he never replies back to me. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like, you know what? I'll just make him a nice little chair, and I'll have a nice little table for the strawberry. One of the things I'm a little surprised about, he hasn't eaten it yet. Right? I don't know why. Like, I hope he starts eating, man, because I want to see you get fatter. All right? It's a little bit too skinny. I want to see the buddy get fatter. All right? I think. And also Also, I had another buddy in this past YouTube channel, and his name was Mr. Blue Blue. This guy, I decided to name Mr. Whites. All right, and keep in mind, I'm not racist. When I wasn't racist when I named him that. I'm still not racist, but yeah. All right. You know what? I think the camera and Mr. Whites can spend some time together. You guys can spend some time together. Right? You guys can enjoy each other's company while I take a bit of a breather and a break. A piece of advice is when I look at him, I let that smile sit in, okay? So, I think that's enough time for you guys. Spend with one another. Oh, shoot! Mr. Whites! Mr. Whites, man, look at this. What an amazing buddy he is. Look at there. He ate some of his strawberry. Nice, you're gonna get fatter now. Perfect. And what? I'm gonna get you some more strawberry. And what? What is this, Mr. Whites? Oh, oh my gosh, I found Mr. Whites. I have to ask now. Did you eat this, Mr. Whites? Did you eat this? I don't know why he's not replying back. Mr. Whites, reply back. Did you eat this? Alright, I've got it better, okay? Be completely silent when I ask the next question if it's a yes. Did you eat this? Well, there you have it, folks. He ate it. He ate the strawberry, man. Man, you shouldn't have done that. You're going to be double the size tomorrow. Boy, Mr. Whites. What a troublemaker, or an eating machine. I don't usually share what I write down, but today I thought I would, because I guess one of the topics of this video, there's a topic I want to talk about in this video, but I guess really one of the big topics was really just taking in the environment, right? And taking in here and now. Hence a lot of the beginning shots, so on and so forth. So let's see what I wrote down, okay? Rock 1. That's rock 2. Rock 1. Today I'm here. I did it chronological with the rocks. I'm going to start over. Today I'm here. And that all that And that's what matters. Take it in. What in? Everything. Feel it. Breathe it. Try to fathom it. Look all around you. Do you see what I see? I know what I see. I see the green grass. I see the blue rocks and rocks. I see and hear the river and feel a new thing coming, and the old thing is passing. Yes, it is. It's coming now. Run! It's coming for me. It's coming for you. It's coming for all of us. It's coming for this area. The green grass shall be known. The blue shall be no more. The blue rocks shall lose their color and lose their color, and the stream shall be not as it is now very soon. This is the old prophecy coming true. It does every year. Can you find what it is? Yeah. So with that being said, I'm going to now bury it. But look at there. I have a beautiful deer for some nice company. I love it. Look at that beautiful bugger walking there. You know, one of the things, you know, my mom always has commented about is how deers and animals are so tough. Because the thing with deers is, think about it, they have to stand there in the thunderstorms. They have to stand there in the winter time when it's snowing. Like for me right now, I'm thinking about it, and it's like, it's really amazing how much perseverance these beautiful, lovely creatures have, and how they're willing. It's not how they're willing to. It's like when they're in a circumstance, they have to go through it. They have to survive, so on and so forth. And I know in my life, I have to be like that. You know, when things come, like when tidal waves come, I know I have to be like a deer. All right. When the great snow come, all right, I have to be tough to beat the cold. I have to sleep within the cold. All right. Right? And from that toughness, okay, by just having that thick skin, I know I can learn new ways to deal with the great winter, or the great thunderstorms, or even the hot blazing days. Right? That's one of the big things that I know about humans. We are adapters, okay? And also, I really kind of see our world as that, a lot of people have given up. A lot of people have gone to bad things like drugs, all right, sex, okay? And when I say that, okay, sex is a bad thing, I believe, yeah, definitely, on how you use it, okay? Sex, drugs, right? Dependency, okay? Crutch-like things, okay? Holy shit. Crutch-like things, okay? Toxic relationships, so on and so forth, right? I believe we as humans think we need, like, certain things in our lives to fulfill us. And I don't believe that is the case. I think there are things to help you, to fulfill you. For example, if you struggle with depression, and if it would be better for you to be on an antidepressant, get on an antidepressant. But I know from experience, medication does not fulfill. What fulfills is, I believe, for me, what fulfills is the things I do, right? The person I look at in the mirror or in the water. Can't really see my reflection right now. Right, that's right, this here, hashtag my heavenly paradise, okay? Writing that beautiful poem, writing about the old prophecy that comes true, that fulfills me. And I love it. Mr. Whitey, did you steal all those blueberries when I was burying the chest? Be quiet if it's a yes. You did? Mr. Whitey. Man, tomorrow you're probably not going to be able to use those 2 legs. What a naughty boy you've been. What a naughty boy, Mr. Whitey. Mr. Whitey! Mr. Whitey! If you don't clean up your mess, boy, I'll have to leave you out here during the night time, that's right. To see how the crows treat you. So you better clean it. Oh, look at there, Mr. Whitey cleaned up his mess. What a good boy he is. Did you eat all that stuff too? No, the green leaves really aren't good for you. You know what I mean? You're gonna have stomach aches. And by the way, I'm not gonna escort you to the toilet. You can do that yourself, alright? Look at me, man. I'm raising Mr. Whitey pretty good. Nah, Mr. Whitey raises himself. That's right. He raises himself. He doesn't need my help. Isn't that right, Mr. Whitey? I take that as a yes. Was that a yes? Just smiles. He doesn't say anything. That's why I gotta use the silence for the answers. These beings can talk. Just gotta ask the right questions. Isn't that right, Mr. Whitey? Say yes. Alright? Say nothing at all if that's a yes. See? It's a yes. Before I go, I want to show this. One day, I just was walking here and I stumbled upon it. And no, I did not put that there. But that is really creepy. That's just sitting down the stream. Well, whatever it is, it's enjoying the stream, so that's good. So, I buried my chest. And as an honorable pirate, I have to give some bearings to where it is. I buried it under the water, but it's being buried right now. Not by beast, not by man himself, but by the living force that is coming down the mountain night and day, and it does not rest to meet the water. And to where it is coming from, this living force, it is higher than the mountains. And it is higher than the treetops at the base of the river. And by when the next big storm hits, it shall be buried forever. And that's not really the main topic I wanted to talk about. Now, I guess I could kill two birds with one stone right now about kind of the idea of taking everything in and kind of enjoying it, you know what I mean? Kind of, I know for me, this is really helpful in my life, just finding a kind of my own little sanctuary, you know what I mean? My own little heavenly spot where I love, you know? But I really wanted to talk about today are angels and demons, but it's not the way that, in fact, a lot of people would think about the notion of angels or demons. So, I uploaded, okay, and I love these videos so much, man. I uploaded 2 videos in this past week, okay? One was at Scranton Counseling, and you know the thumbnail is pretty clear. It talks about the notion of the thumbnail is pretty clear. Hanging out with my angels, okay? And I met these 2 wonderful women at Scranton Counseling. All right, and hey, man, if you want a place to take care of your mental health, or even try to do research on your mental health, and if you think that, hey, I struggle with depression or anxiety or bipolar or ADHD, and if you're thinking about getting on medicine, I believe they have some good doctors that can help you out. All right, you know, I know some people really care from that organization, right? But also another thing is when you go see the doctors, I've learned when I go see the doctors, I can't take everything they say. They may be the experts, but as the patient, I have to think for myself, and I can't let the doctors think for me. So now, with that being said, okay, yesterday, I was hanging out with thy demons, okay? And I met these 2, I don't want to say interesting, but very eccentric young men at the Clark Summit Reservoir. And at this Clark Summit Reservoir, okay, I had an interesting at this Clark Summit Reservoir. If you've never been there, and if you're kind of from the Scranton area, or even not, come check it out. It's a beautiful spot. It's a beautiful spot to fish. They got some trails. I know they have one rope swing on one side of the lake. But my point being, okay, and this kind of goes to the dynamic of, okay, angels and demons, okay? So one of the big things, so for me, my thoughts really work in representations and the idea of the idea of interpretation. I believe we all work in the form of interpretations, but I know my thoughts really represent that idea. And so now for me, so the 2 women I met at Scranton Counseling, okay? Now, when I say I see angels in them, I feel like I see angels in them. And I'm not kind of going biblical sense, but the idea of angels, okay? What does an angel even mean? I don't even know a definition, but what I imagine the idea of an angel, I imagine an angel being a very light type being, kind of whitish, you know what I mean? I don't want to say whitish as pure, but it's kind of like there you feel this brightness about the idea, and they're caring beings, and they're caring beings, and they have, I don't want to say a sense of morality, but they have a sense of what's really good to them and for the world, okay? And they want to bring peace. They want to bring peace. They don't want to cause any harm to itself or to others, so on and so forth. Right? That's kind of what I imagine kind of an angel being, or an angel being a very helping type being. Okay, that's what I imagine them to be. Demons, on the other hand, I imagine demons to be very. It's not like how I would think a demon would kind of look like, with the idea of it always pops into my mind, the idea of a horns and so on and so forth, and the idea of that. Demons, I imagine to be not these strong beings, but these kind of like cripply black, I don't want to say blackish, but very darkish, old, very kind of darkish, oldish beings. And I don't want to say, I think a deer just farted over there. I don't know. Fart again so I can hear it clearly. I don't know, but from that. But from there, whoo, P.U. I know who it is. I know who it is. It was a Mr. Whitey who did this. It wasn't a deer who did that fart. Oh, my mother of heck. Woo! Mr. Whitey. This boy ripped a good one. Woo-wee. You gotta clean yourself, Mr. Whitey. Woo-wee. You know what, Mr. Whitey? I think I gotta get you to the stream. You can find a few leaves down there. Woo-wee! Mr. Whitey! I told you, Mr. Whitey. I told you if you ate those leaves, you would be, I told you, Mr. Whitey, you would be, giving yourself a storm. Woo-wee! We don't need the big storm. Mr. Whitey did it for us. Woo-wee! It was Mr. Whitey. You bring the worst thunderstorms out there, buddy. Woo-wee! If it was snowing, it would be a winter thunderstorm right now. Woo-wee! Mr. Whitey. But he's still smiling as ever. I appreciate that. So, with that being said, with the idea, I feel like I have something crawling on me. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. In the video where I'm talking about the idea of angels and demons and going into a serious topic, Mr. Whitey had to blow a big one, man. What the heck? So, with that being said, with the idea, so what I would imagine a demon being is being a dark being, a being that is very, I would say, deceitful. That's another thing with the idea of angels. They're very genuine, so on and so forth. And the idea of a demon, to me, would be very deceitful. They're out there just for themselves, and they don't think about the harm that they can do to themselves and to the others around them and to the world, right? They're very cutthroat, and they're very, I don't want to say they're very creature-like. Yeah, they're very creature-like, so on and so forth. So now the idea, okay. Now the idea is, well, I would want to ask myself, okay, Zach, what are you? Are you a demon or an angel? Well, don't get on my bad side. Don't get on my bad side and you'll see a demon. But majority of the time, I would say I am an angel. I would classify myself as an angel-like being, okay? But without the notion, but for me, okay, with the two figures I met, okay, at this Scranton Counseling and at the Clark Summit Reservoir, what would I say to them? Or kind of the idea of what I saw of them, okay? What would be my interpretation of them be? The idea, okay? And for me, when I do this, I am not judging them. I know that. For me, what I really appreciated about those two girls, okay, is on how genuine they were. One of the things I loved, okay, about that one girl, especially the blonde girl, is when I was like, hey everyone, let's get in a group selfie, let's get in a group picture, okay? Alright. I loved how you know she's smoking her cigarette and she's like, this is the cutest thing ever, man. Alright? She's like, she raises up her hands and she's like, hi, with a big dang smile, man. And I loved that so much because it felt genuine and like, hi, as that she it looked like she cared she looked like she cared for, not to make a good impression, but it looked like she just cared, not just for herself, but for her environment, okay? And I really appreciate that. The other genuine girl, alright, Cerise, I think her name was. I'll call her Cerise, okay? I don't even know her name, but Cerise, the one who was Muslim, Cerise, I really also loved how bluntly honest she was too. You know what I mean? One of the best parts about it too is that she looked like she really didn't care about what other people thought, and that's being a very genuine person too. You know what I mean? And that's why I don't think a lot of people do YouTube or make music. Okay, they really want to, man, but they're really afraid of judgment. Okay. Because I think what kind of like goes down into our deep-seated human nature is that, okay, if I do this, well, if I'm judged, it's not going to be good for my survival, okay? Well, life is not all, for me, I found life is not always about survival. Survival is definitely a aspect, but it is not the whole picture or everything, okay? And also the idea is that, well, we don't live in I don't live in hunter-gatherer communities. The human race doesn't, right? So why should I care what people think? You know what I mean? Right? Sure, I'll be liable for judgment, right? If your thoughts do turn against me, why should I care? You know what I mean? And why should that even pop into my head, so on and so forth? It has no place among me as an individual person. And I know for me, when I make these YouTube videos, I am liable for judgment. I am being judged right here, right now. It's not by myself, right? And you know what I would say for me, with kind of, not to go down a deep rabbit hole in that aspect, with the idea of being judged, well, I could really honestly care less as an individual person. And I really believe that I know by my experience as a person who just steps out, okay, and being okay with the liable of judgment, and being okay that if people's thoughts are like, yeah, he's stupid, okay, right? That's okay. You know, it does connect to what I was talking about yesterday at the Clark Summit Reservoir about being comfortable with one's self, okay? Being comfortable with one's self. And being okay with it. That, to me, is really a big notion, I know, in my life. And you know what has helped me out is making these YouTube videos and talking about my thoughts and being okay with it, and also being okay with not knowing, all right, people's reactions, okay? Right? And that's really the big thing I really loved about that woman, because one of the big things with that woman is when Cerise is when we were all kind of having a fun time joking. She's like, "Hey, oh, we're here, out here," right? And she's dancing. And also another thing I appreciated too, she stuck out her tongue a few times too. She did those blowing kisses. That's genuine. I really enjoyed that. It felt like it's not fake, but it was out of positivity and goodness, okay? And that to me, I really like that a lot. And I know for me in my life, I want genuine people in it, all right? I don't want anyone in it. I want to choose and pick, okay, these people are good for me, okay? I want them. Then these people aren't, okay? So I'm not gonna be around them, okay? And I know that has helped me out with my confidence too. So I was just talking with a girl today, okay? And you know, she comes over and she's like, "Hi," and I'm like, "Hi," okay? And I don't remember how the conversation really started, but I know that hi happened, okay? So on and so forth. Or what happened, I didn't say hi, I just kind of like waved. I'm like, "Hello," or something like that. And she said, "Oh, why didn't you say hi back?" Or something like that. Like, do you care? She said something along the lines as, you seem happy when people say hello to you. And I told her flat out, like, well, honestly, no, if someone says hello to me and says hi to me, yeah, you know, yeah, great. Yeah, that's great. But if they don't, oh well, I could really care less, okay? And she talked to me, and she asked me this question: were you always that confident? And I told her flat out, okay? A part of me, yes, I would say, when I was a kid, yeah, I was throughout my life, I've been always very confident. But I think for everyone, okay, there are times and seasons of insecurity, okay? All right. And you know, she kind of started to talk about herself a bit, and how she started to talk about herself a bit, and how she really kind of like, growing up, she didn't really have much confidence in a way, because she wanted people to like her, and she wanted so she got with boyfriends for eating, kind of how she looked, how her body looks, and all of that stuff, so on and so forth, you know. And I told her yesterday, I was talking to another one. No, I told her when I was talking to her. I was talking to her. I was talking to her. I was talking to my mom yesterday about kind of about this aspect, and kind of how about how, yeah, you know, I think girls do more comparing than men do, okay? And, you know, I was also telling her that, yeah, I walked with my mom at Naog Park yesterday, and beautiful park, by the way. And I think I mentioned that in the video, yeah. But I saw this girl They're taking some photos, and she had a very tight dress on, very shorts on, okay, and I really, as a man, I honestly didn't really like it, okay. I didn't like that because I really believed that she was casting herself out as a sexual object, okay? And I really disagree with how girls present themselves that way. You can do whatever you want to do. Do what you want to do with your life. But I know for me, that's just something I just don't want to be around, okay? My eyes can only take so much, okay? My brain can only take so much, okay? And and being around that circumstance, it's not, I don't want to say it's not really good for my mental health. It doesn't like affect me, but I would just say I would rather be seeing the trees right now, or the beautiful sun, or the river, right? And not some girl in a tight dress, okay? And when I saw that tight dress, okay, that also didn't feel genuine. That did not feel genuine. It felt like she was trying to be something she's not, okay? And I know for me as an individual person, I don't want to be around fakers, okay? I just don't want to be around them, okay? I want to be around people who are real and who are just genuine, okay? Who are bluntly honest, okay? That's what I liked about Cerise and the other girl, you know what I mean? They were kind, they were genuine, so on and so forth, okay? They were angels, okay? Angel-like, man. And I really, I know for me, I love that part about them, you know what I mean? And the other thing, too, is I also liked on how they're there and they're trying to seek help. You know what I mean? They're there for Scranton Counseling for a reason, and it's to seek help. And that's another thing I appreciate, too, is one individual seek help. I know when I go and seek help, and I was always the best for asking help. You should ask my math teacher back in middle school, man. Woo-wee. Yeah. Does Zach do a good job for asking for help? See what he says. But I've gained the skill of asking for help, and when people ask for help, I think that's a real big step for maturity, okay? It's not that when you ask for help, or not when I ask for help, I'm not trying to have people fix my problems. I just want help fixing my problems, okay? We all need help. We all are dependent on, I don't want to say people, but we are all dependent on each other for certain things, okay? Our civilization is ran on dependency, okay? If the people who didn't work at the grocery store didn't work there, we would have no groceries, okay? So we are dependent on those people to work. That's why every job is valuable. And the work environment, okay? It makes our world go round. Money makes our world go around, but people who work, all right, who have jobs, all right, makes the world go round, okay? So on and so forth, okay? And now back to what I was saying to this girl today. Yeah, I was kind of explaining, yeah, it's human nature, you know, the opposite sex, especially the girl opposite sex, wants to appeal to the opposite sex, the males, okay, because they want their bodies to look good because of the idea of procreation, okay? It's a very surface level. Then we started to kind of get into about relationships, so on and so forth, started talking about that, and just started talking about how what I believe that would really make a good relationship is that if you are friends with a person for a long time, okay? You know, sex can only last a person so long, and you could do it so many times. And if you are going to a girl or a man just for sex, that is low and that is degrading. That, I believe, is not right, okay? I know it's not right for me, so on and so forth. It's very empty, okay? If the individual person just does that, okay? So on and so forth. I agree with the idea of admiring beautiful body parts and really loving the human body, but also having safe boundaries and knowing my limits have really helped me out, okay? Like, for example, okay? Believe it or not, this angel-like figure, yes, like figure, has been to a few strip clubs in his day. Yes, I have, man. I have been to a few strip clubs in my day, okay? One of the things with that experience, though, is I had safe boundaries. Honestly, I was talking to a friend. I was talking to a very close. I was talking to a. I don't want to say any names or kind of say who it is, but I was talking to one of my. I'll just say. To one of the close people in my life, okay? Actually, two close people in my life about this months ago, okay? Alright, and they were saying to me that, they were telling me, yeah, those girls are probably never excited when they see you walk in, okay? Because, you know why? I had safe boundaries and I did not spend a dime. I spent like only for the entry fee, but I never spent anything to that, okay? Because, one of the things for me, as a man, I am curious, okay? I'm very curious about the woman body, okay? And I believe it's healthy curiosity. When people, I think, one of the big things is I am not for the notion of strip clubs, but knowing that they are out there, I feel like, well, they can be good in some aspects, okay? Right? I think it's not a black and white scenario. I think, there is that there's that gray zone, okay? There's that gray zone. I don't think strip clubs are entirely the notion of evil or good, okay? I believe it can be good and evil, and it can also be great, you know what I mean? So on and so forth. And I know for me, when I've went to them, yes, I admired the opposite sex body, okay? But it didn't go anywhere more from that, okay? I had safe boundaries. For example, my conditions were no lap dances or even spending, okay? I know. No, spending, and believe it or not, this beautiful angel has been peer pressured, yes. Peer pressured to spend by the strippers, but guess what? I didn't do it. But from that, so on and so forth. And I think, I really think for young men to go there and to have safe boundaries and not to be caught up and realize that's a fantasy world, so on and so forth, I believe it's definitely okay. Alright, I'm a young man. I'm 23 years old. I haven't been there for months, for a very long time. And I believe that, if you have safe boundaries, right? And the other thing too is, I found with the notion of the idea of a strip club is the girls will definitely come and talk. Like, for me, I've noticed the girls have come and talked to me. I didn't scoot them up. I was very friendly and kind to them, right? So on and so forth. I may disagree with the idea a bit, but I'm not like condemning. You know what I mean? Because I think the notion too, like, strippers, I think can be good people. You know what I mean as well. You know what I mean? Some can be really, really great people, right? And that's another big thing, is being in the environment of a strip club or seeing a stripper. It's not like, okay, that's a stripper and she's just a stripper. But I look at her as, okay, she's a stripper, but you know what? That person could be doing great things out of this strip club. Alright. Just a concept. No, I went down a rabbit hole, but I did not tell that girl that. All right, but yeah, and I told her, the idea of the attraction, so on and so forth, is very surface level, right? And I really believe that this, and keep in mind, girls know if they want to attract the opposite sex, they have to post all these butt pics and all of this stuff, okay? They have to wear these tight bikinis, these crop tops, all of that stuff. And for me, that is not being genuine, okay? I feel like if you really want to attract a mate, okay, or even get a mate, okay, for one, I know for me in my life, don't look for it, okay? Number two would be being okay with being single and love the life. You know what I mean? Right now, I think I've said this in some past videos, I am single. But Mr. Whitey, he was my companion today. But my point being is, I love being single, okay? It's the greatest thing ever, man. Bachelorhood is amazing, okay? And that's, I would say, another, big thing I know of for my life. You know what I mean? I don't want to go down a rabbit hole any longer. I really don't. So now I want to talk about, the idea, these men started, so that's the thing I liked about those girls I met at Scranton Counseling. It was the genuineness, you know what I mean, and kind of their quality, you know what I mean, and how Cerise was willing to be, she was very open, and she looked like when she had the opportunity, she seized it to make the world a better place, and that's the thing I know I respect, and I look up to when people do that, you know what I mean, right? It's kind of like, it's pushing us all forward when people try to make the world a better place, and just be a good person, you know. Now, I want to go back to the Clark Summit Reservoir, okay? So, now with the Clark Summit Reservoir, one of the things which was really interesting, okay, for me, is keep in mind, these guys looked like they were young. It looked like they were still in high school. And from that age, they're immature. The person said, I think, one of them said he was like 26 or something, 28, 27. I don't know. I don't want to get caught up in the age, but that's one of the things I know, like one of the things that the person said. And for me, I think when I am going to say, now, those girls were angel-like. These guys were demon-like, okay? And now when I say demon-like, okay, I know for me, I don't want to get caught up into the word demon-like, okay? But for me, I didn't really like how ungenuine they were, okay? I did not like that, okay? That's when when I've noticed in my life, when I'm not genuine, I'm not moving in the right direction, okay? I'm not moving in my life, okay? In a very good spot, okay? I'm not moving to where the light is, okay? I am moving to where the darkness is, okay? So also the aspect of lies as well. I also noticed these young men were very, I think that was Mr. Whitey doing the fart again, man. Whew. I heard it from all the way over here, man. Mr. Whitey. What a naughty boy he is. So now, with that being said, I didn't like the lies, okay? Being a liar is cowardly, okay? Being a liar is being a hypocrite, okay? And that is very demon-like. Now, my other point too, okay? The thing with the Cerise and the blonde girl is that they were smoking cigarettes, okay? And I don't judge people if they smoke, okay? If you smoke, fine, okay? Alright, so on and so forth. But but the other thing I noticed that they were there for mental health reasons. I have no clue, but if I had to have some random guest. They were there to see a doctor because they might deal with like depression. So he said, yeah, I'm kind of a bit of a crazy person, but I'm here for something to help me out, okay? I would say that looks like it was medication. And for me, with young people, one of the things I've noticed with young people, okay, they go to things that aren't good for them, okay, to try to cope with their mental health, okay, so on and so forth. And by the looks of it, okay, it looks like by this, by the guy in the cowboy hat, it looks like he was smoking weed. He offered me some, and man, I know when people do that, it's not for me, but I'm just going to be polite about it, okay? I'm going to be like, yeah, no thanks, I'm fine, okay? And he was smoking that weed, right? But it also looks like I don't know the person, but what I saw, okay, it kind of looked like the person who was having a rough time with his mental health, man, right? But how he's coping through it was smoking through the weed, okay? Or coping just with the struggles of life, smoking by the weed, okay? Right, so the thought process among the young population is that, okay, and even some of the older population is, okay, if I smoke this weed, oh wait, I'm having a rough time, so I'm just going to smoke this weed. Oh, my mental health is so much better, but it comes back, okay, gotta smoke it. Then I've noticed people get really addicted to it, so on and so forth, right? One of the other things I would say is very demon-like is when you go to a thing time and time again, okay, and it could be probably anything, and it becomes crutch-like, and you are dependent on that, and the individual person feels like they cannot live without it, okay, and that is not good for mental health, okay? Smoking, I know there's a lot of people who smoke weed, okay? I met this one person who said they smoke weed because they face anxiety, okay? Smoking weed, okay, is not smoking weed is not helping. Smoking weed does not help with anxiety or depression, so on and so forth, okay? Smoking weed can be like alcohol, okay? Alright. Oh, I feel depressed, so I'm just gonna drink, okay? Next thing you know it, you could become an alcoholic. It's the same thing with weed and drugs, okay? Alright. So, smoking weed is not dealing with your mental health, okay? I'm going to kind of localize it back to me. I know smoking weed is not dealing with my mental health, okay? It's not a good coping mechanism, so on and so forth, right? And keep in mind, when the individual person does that, okay, they're destroying their bodies, okay? When you go to the crutch-like, or not you, but I'm not saying you, yeah, I don't even know you, but point being is I've noticed when people go to the crutch-like forces, they become dependent on it, and that is degrading, okay, to the individual human being, so on and so forth, okay? And I've noticed for me when in my past life, yes, this beautiful angel, I know how I became dependent on some notions, and I know that was not good for my mental health. That goes back to the idea of genuine, okay? To the individual person on how genuine the person is, okay? I would say that as well. I would say also kind of making fun as well. No, I would say that's another thing, because I noticed when the cops were trying to do their job, okay, one of the guys just kept on making fun of the cops, okay? He kept cutting me off, okay? That's being rude and very inconsiderate to the things that are around you, okay? And I know for me as an individual person, that's not good, okay? That's not good for me to do. Like, for example, I know when I cut people off, I always am like, hey, man. Or I'm like, hey, don't mean to cut you off, all right? Or, hey, sorry by cutting you off there, right? And then I kind of continue with the sentence, so on and so forth, right? Manners, that's another thing, right? It's not like when you're out in the world, it's not like a free-for-all, okay? All right, that's another thing with this world I've noticed is that when I'm out here in the world, I gotta have boundaries. I don't want to say safe boundaries, but I gotta have boundaries to make sure that I am not creature-like, okay? Like, for example, like what makes us different than the animals, okay, is that when they're out there, they don't have boundaries. Their boundaries is jumping in front of cars. Their boundaries is they can't even think about boundaries, okay? Alright, because they act out on instinct. And I don't believe it's cookie cutter like that. There's a big area in animal psychology I don't really know much about, so I can't comment on it much, okay? And also, the other thing too, I notice, so I would say also, I think the other thing that could be very, degrading to the human self, okay, is if a 27-year-old acting, alright, and they're fully capable, okay, of acting like a functional, regular adult, but if they're 27 or 28 and acting like they're high school, that is degrading and unhealthy, okay? That's not being mature, so on and so forth, right? And that's another thing I've noticed about weed when I've witnessed it in my life, is that they have made the individuals kids longer, or they keep themselves kids. Like, weed just makes people dumb. They don't make people think, so on and so forth. Yeah. Right. Now I'm trying to think about some other things that I wanted to talk about. I think this is also it can be demon-like, okay, ready? So when a person, okay, so one of the things I was very proud about myself when I had that interaction with them, okay, and I noticed each time, okay, when I was with my lovely angels, I walked away, man, okay? I was the one who initiated the walk away. With these I don't want to say lovely, but with these, I don't want to say demons, but with the demons, I don't even want to call people demons, man. That could, like, I don't want to say that, man. I would say these people who are demon-like, alright, I'll go there. When these people are demon-like, okay, I was the one who initiated to walk away, but look what happened, man, okay? Alright, angels are like this, okay? They're like, gonna walk away? Well, have a good day. Thank you so much. Hey, it was nice talking with you, alright? Good luck with everything. Alright, demons are like, okay, the notion, okay? And remember, I don't want to get caught up into that word of demon, but, alright. Wait, you're gonna walk away? F you! Come on, let's fight! Come on! I'm gonna go for your jugular, right? Bang! Alright, jugular time! Boom! 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 I'm gonna rip that, like, tube out and... That's kind of like what I'm talking about. And that's not being matured. I know when I was a kid, and when I had a TSS worker, and when they kind of talked to me about kind of be the bigger person and walk away. That's being like a grown-up, okay? Not a man-child, but that's being a grown-up. That's being mature. Like, for example, when those guys were like heckling at me, I'm like, yeah, all right, you can say all that stuff, because it's like, okay, when you heckle at me, I understand that is degrading yourself. But boom. And, I think, yeah, all right. And I think that is doing another thing of putting blinders on, just oblivious to the world. All right. And so, I wanted to kind of bring that, notion up of kind of asking the question, am I angel-like or am I demon-like? Or am I somewhere in between that's kind of fluctuating from one to another? Holy shoot. But a question. Now, there's the lovely deer right there. Hey, buddy, how you doing? You looking beautiful today. The deer is. But yeah. So that's really the question I wanted to ask. Also, another thing I wanted to share, okay, in this YouTube video, excuse me, is that I had a dream last night, okay? And I want to actually talk about this dream, okay? Because I know for me, one of the big things is I've been having amazingly vivid dreams, okay? And I love it when I have dreams because these dreams tell me what's going on in my life, okay? Dreams are so filled with symbolism. Oh my gosh, these people are gonna come out of the woods. Mr. Whitey is like, Mr. Whitey is there where the cooler is, and he's got a big smile. Oh my gosh. I hope the dog doesn't tear him apart, man. Don't fall right now, Mr. Whitey. Let's see. Right now they're just walking by. I think that's kind of that could be a little creepy. It's kind of, if I wasn't here, okay, and if that was just sitting there. Holy shit, man. Right, especially if he just kind of farted, then oh my gosh, man, they would be all knocked down, man. Man, I would have to give them CPR, alright? I would have to give them CPR if Mr. White farted. Me, I fainted the first few times, but I've gotten used to it. So, you know what I mean? I adapted to Mr. Whitey farts. And I could say I'm a survivor. Alright. No, it knocked me out so hard. Actually, they found me laying in my house, and they called 911. They revived me. Yeah. So this dream I was having, okay? So the dream I was having is that, let's see here, where was I? So what happens was that, so my parents have a beach house in Fort Myers, Florida, and we also have a lake house, okay? And what happened is that this hurricane actually decided to ram into the, what happened, the community we lived in, the hurricane didn't hit, okay? There was a big party. In the dream, the hurricane did hit while that party was going on, and everything was devastated. And so my parents decided to say, you know what, we're going to sell the house, okay? So they sold that house, okay? We had a house in Clarksville, but we sold that. But point being is now, from that, they decided to go to the high mountains, real past Tunkhannock, okay? And it's kind of in swampland. And I know they're looking, and buddy, who's ready? Oh, look at that lovely woolly bear, man. This is what I'm talking about. That's, for me, I know for me, that's why I want to kind of spend some time outside, just enjoying this, taking everything in. You know, when I'm talking, I'm looking around and I'm enjoying this. And I'm so happy I did not step on you. And I'm so happy you survived Mr. Whitey's farts. Woo-wee. Man, we found another survivor. That deer, I think the animals are very good at surviving farts, you know. That's another thing with these animals. They're great with survival. And they survived Mr. Whitey's farts. There's winter storms and there's rainy storms are nothing compared to Mr. Whitey's farts. Woo-wee. But my point being, alright, love you, buddy, who's a roadie. My point being, I want to keep this guy company wherever this guy is. I can't find him. I hope I didn't. I want to keep you company. So my point being now is, with this dream I was okay. This is what's going. So they were up in Tunkhannock, and it was kind of a swampish area, but there were two neighborhoods across this dirt road from the house they were looking at, but it was more of a trailer, a dumpy wooden trailer. Nothing's working, okay? So on and so forth, okay? And the person and the realtor was this kind of, he had black jacket, he had glasses, and he wanted them to sell them this house, okay? Some farm animals were down on this path, okay? I'm kind of like Mom, Dad. You don't want to sell this house. You don't want to sell it, okay? No, you don't want to buy it, okay? And they're like, oh, a hurricane could probably hit the lake, okay? I'm like, that's nowhere near Florida, okay? And they're like, well, global warming's a thing. I'm like, global warming, man, this thing's not even working. If a storm came through here, it'd be destroyed. But the realtor disagreed with me, and I guess they really, you know what? I'm gonna help you out, buddy, and transport you to where Mr. Whitey is. All right, or actually by that way. But my point being is that. Or the dream's point that I'm seeing is that, okay, so I decided to go out, okay, because I was a little upset, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go run. I saw these beautiful sheep. I'm running with them along this path, okay, and I see some kids, okay, and I see it. And by the way, I haven't seen these families in forever, man, okay, but they come into my dream, okay. These were two families within my neighborhood I lived in. These were two families I grew up with, okay? The Marians and the Karrases, okay? And I was very astonishingly surprised because I saw Will and I saw Mike, okay? I saw Will first, okay? And I really liked Will. I've always liked Will. He was the youngest, and I was the youngest in my family, and I felt like I had a nice connection with him. Mike, he and I were very, very, I don't want to say we were very good friends, but we had a very special connection. We had a very special connection. Look at him. What a lovely buddy. We had a very, got an idea. Stay that way, buddy. You mother effer. I think he bit me. Well, I still love you, buddy. Good luck with everything. I was trying to put him oh, there's a hole. But I was trying to put him on my nose so he would like crawl up here, but oh man. They don't work. Oh well. Just imagine if he started to cocoon himself right here. Whatever cocoon nose. I love it. But now, with this dream, okay? Now, with this dream, is that, yeah, Mike and I had a good connection when we were real kids, you know what I mean? He was, I would say, literally my first friend I, ever made in my life, okay? friend that's kind of like, childish friend, And so for me, it was like, I was kind of surprised seeing them in my dream. I was like, what the heck are you guys doing here? I'm like, okay, just going to talk to them, so on and so forth. Just be friendly. And they said they had this like wheelbarrow and they were loading hay. And they're like, I see you found our sheep. And I'm like, your sheep? I'm like, the neighborhood sheep. I'm like, there's a neighborhood? Yeah, there's this neighborhood that goes to the top of the mountain. We live at the top, okay? I saw the older Mike there, and I saw him, and he was very kind, and I was talking to him, you know what I mean? And I was helping, and I'm like, you know what? I know we've had disagreements. I've known we had struggles in the past, but you know what? I'm going to help you guys load wood, okay? And they were telling me about it, asking me about my family and all of that stuff, and I was just telling them, yeah, I was just very genuine in the truth, okay? And kind of how I guess felt with them buying up here. And they're like, oh yeah, this place, it doesn't look like a lot of potential, but it's got a lot of potential. I'm like, why are you guys here? And the older Mike's like, well, I have my own company here, and, I'm kind of revolutionizing Tunkhannock right now, so on and so forth. And now the point being is, we went up to the road, and I saw this neighborhood, okay? And they're like, I'm like, wow, I'm surprised you guys left the neighborhood. Anyone else around? I'm sure you guys are the only ones who are around here. And guess what? The Mike said, younger Mike said, no, actually, the Kerrises are just next to the neighbor. The Kerrises are the next. The Kerrises are in the neighborhood next to us. And I'm like, is it a hard neighborhood to get to? They're like, no, not really. We're both at the top, okay? And I'm like, I thought, and then I'm like, all right, cool, okay, cool. So on and so forth. And they went their separate ways, and I saw them walking up the street. I just waved. I'm like, all right, goodbye. Tell the Kerrises I send them my best regards with whatever they're doing in life, okay? And they're like, yeah, will do. All right. And I heard Will say something, I think, like, yeah, I don't think we're going to do that. And when they said that, I'm like, I don't really care if they would do that. Because it's like, I did the right thing when I said that, okay? And that's what I was concerned about. You know what I mean? Even though that we had disagreements and some other things, And for me, I go back and I confront this realtor. My parents are still hell-bent on buying this house, okay? I'm a little upset, so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go for a hike, okay? And I'm like, you know what? I want to go check that other neighborhood out. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go on this hiking trail. All right, and I'm like, let's go, okay? I'm going to go for this adventure, okay? And I was going for it, and then I woke up. And I usually talk to the person. So I have a person in my life that could really read dreams greatly. So I talked to the person about this dream, and the person told me that I'm growing up. I am maturing, right? The reason why the Marians and the Kerrises were in it was no really big relevant reason, but the reason is because I am okay with my childhood, okay? I'm okay with the disagreements that have happened. I'm okay. And I'm really fine with that, and I'm letting, I would say, everything go. And I'm moving forward in my life, and I'm moving onward with my life. And so, yeah, that's very good. You know what I mean? That's extremely great for me as an individual person. That, to me, is the moral victory, okay? Or a moral victory. So, and what it helps me out with, I would say, being here and now and looking my eyes to the future and not to the past, okay? Because the past doesn't matter anymore. All right? Is taking everything in, trying to be as genuine as I can, and just aspiring to be angel-like, okay? And not demon-like. That could be thrown into the lake or the river for all I care. So with that being said, I hope on our way home together, all right, I'm not going to kiss her behind. On our way home together, I hope you don't blow another one. Because, man, I don't have matches in the car, and man, I know I'll be vomiting. Woo! Well, there was a time where he did it in the car, man. The car turned green, and man, the windows weren't working that day, okay? And man, I pulled over, man, I was vomiting for an hour. Alright, well, have a nice night. Holy shoot. So, there's 2 deer down there, okay? I don't know if you can see it, but there's 2 deer down there, and I saw these 2 deer just sprinting through the woods for no good reason. Now I'm seeing those 2 deers right now, and they're just like staying. It turned its head. Well, I'm gonna get going. It's like staring at me right now. I was wondering like what the reason why those deer's kind of walking a little closer to me now. That's strange. The other one is too, okay. But my point being is that I was wondering what the reason why. I wonder what the reason why those 2 deers were running through the woods, okay? And it just dawned on me. It's mating season for them, right? And that's one of the things I try to remind myself is when I am driving home now, I gotta be careful because of the mating season. The deer's running after me. They're going, this is coming. Oh my gosh, no. I'm not to be mated with.
Yeah. And lately I just been thinking about where I'm going and shit. And the truth is, I don't really know where I'm going. But what I do know is, I just gotta keep making music, man. Yeah. Check, I need to get my mind right. Enough fucking around, I'm unappreciated, so I got no love for this town. I gotta get out without changing my mindset. Judge when I rap like I'm taking a rhyme test. Young bull with dreams big enough to reach clouds. I miss shots, but I'm coming for the rebound. Keep my head up so much I can't see down, and I ain't finna trade my soul just to be found. Yeah, I seek truth as the beat loops. My condolences.